Federal government targets job creation and mega fund generation through mechanized agriculture. Northern Reform Organization clamors for economic and social rebirth, stresses implications of unstable region. And NDLEA operatives seize drug consignments hidden in ladies' wares and other prohibited substances. Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, alongside other African leaders, are in Accra, Ghana, for the 6th Midterm African Union meeting. Educate an Africa fit for the 21st century is the theme of the meeting. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
This high-level gathering of African leaders is taking place in Accra, Ghana. The media coordinating meeting, established in 2017, is part of the AU's institutional reforms aimed at ensuring effective collaboration between various African bodies. This year's summit is coming at a critical juncture for Africa as the continent continues to push for greater economic and political cooperation among its nations and international partners. Key items on the agenda include addressing the status of regional integration in Africa, evaluating the AU's early warning and conflict prevention mechanisms, and promoting cooperation among regional economic communities to accelerate integration.
The draft budget for 2025, which has been submitted and has been minutiously prepared by the Commission with all its skills and those who have contributed to it. The level of statutory contribution to the budget, which has been capped to 200 million American dollars instead of the 250 million which was approved in 2023, taken into account the pressures that are exerted on most of our member states.
Earlier, Ministers of Foreign Affairs from the member countries held a meeting setting agenda for the African leaders. Ambassador Yusuf Tuga of Nigeria was also in attendance.
I wish to use this opportunity to urge member states to strengthen their commitment to the secretariat, as it has the potential to strongly shape the future of the continent, strengthen its position in the global market, uplift the lives of its people, and accelerate the sustainable growth and development of the continent.
Development partners, including the President of the African Development Bank and the United Nations, are expected to make presentations at the meeting. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has restated the federal government's resolve to create job opportunities and to diversify Nigeria's economy as part of efforts to ensure food security and to stimulate economic growth across the country. This was at a launch of a ₦1 billion agricultural empowerment program in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
The Yobe State Mega Agricultural Empowerment Program is a deliberate initiative by the state government to improve agricultural practices in the state, to add value to the life of the citizenry in food security and national strategic food sufficiency agenda. Flagging off the scheme, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, says Yobe State revolution in agriculture is in line with his administration's resolve to transform the sector, and the more reason for the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development.
Every intervention to boost agriculture plays a crucial role in the local economy. The aim of an initiative like this transcends food security. It opens new avenues for employment, particularly for our youth and women, who are the backbone of our rural communities. That government will not tolerate any act of sabotage to
launching of the Agricultural Empowerment Program, the first of its kind, also saw the president approving Yobe State's request for additional resources to support its agricultural transformation drive. More than 19 billion naira was expended to procure farming inputs, with about 6,000 beneficiaries being targeted in the 178 political wards across the 70 local government areas of the state. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTN.
The administration of President Bola Tinubu has recorded some milestones in its efforts to deliver on the mandate given to him by Nigerians. Various policies and interventions have been designed and are being implemented to improve the lives of Nigerians in different sectors. Stay with the NTA for an assessment of the strides of the administration in line with its renewed hope agenda on a new program, Executive Recap, on the network service of the NTA, coming up tonight at 10:30 p.m. and every Sunday. Now, the recent Supreme Court verdict, which returned financial autonomy to the third tier of government, the local government councils say priority attention will be given to the provision of healthcare services, among other social amenities. At the meeting of all local government councils in Nigeria, the association believes that the autonomy will enhance good governance at the grassroots. Aliu Tijani reports.
Basking in the euphoria of the Supreme Court judgment that returns financial autonomy to local government, the national executives of the Association of All Local Government Councils in Nigeria, ALGON, converge on Lafia, Nasarawa State, to discuss the future of governance at the grassroots and how the association will leverage the judgment to fast-track development. ALGON says, in addition to improving infrastructure at the grassroots, welfare of rural dwellers and youth corps members deployed to the hinterland will be given topmost priority.
And we want to assure the people of Nigeria, most especially the issue of primary healthcare facilities, the issue of provision of basic education, and other statutory responsibilities on local government councils. We will make sure that we attend religiously to our constitutional responsibilities.
All local government councils in Nigeria commend President Bola Tinubu and the Supreme Court for restoring lost glory of the local government in the country. And this, ALGON says, it will not take it for granted. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The social, economic and security challenges of northern Nigeria pose threats to its progress and unity. This was the observation of the Northern Reform Organization, a group seeking socio-economic and political reforms of the North, while interacting with the Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi. Mohammed Musaskira reports.
Interacting with the Jigawa governor at the government house in Dutse, the group led by its Secretary General Abdulkadir Yusuf Gude expressed concerns about the growing challenges facing the North and the need to work with the northern state governors towards addressing them. Issues bordering insecurity, poverty, drug abuse among the northern youth, and moral degradation, the group noted, are some of the things that need urgent attention of the northern authorities for redress.
We wrote a very lengthy and good literature covering the entire development program for the North. So with good support from all the governments in the 19 states and Abuja, we believe we can do something different from other ones.
Governor Umar Namadi, who attributed the widespread poverty among the young people in the North to drug abuse, said his government is ready to work with the Northern Reform Organization to find ways of addressing these challenges.
Today, in the North, insecurity is in the nose, poverty is in the nose, out-of-school children is in the nose, drug abuse is in the nose. We don't have reasons for all this to happen. Because even when the Europeans came to Nigeria, they met this part of this country with their own culture and tradition.
Northern Reform Organization is collaborating with the 19 northern states governors to restore the lost glory of the North. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And the President's administration has been urged to strategize and formulate more policies that will quickly ease the economic hardship on citizens. At a media briefing in Abuja, the coalition of northern groups believes that as laudable as the current policies are, which are designed for the benefit of Nigerians in the long run, more still needs to be done to cushion the immediate effects of these policies. The group is concerned that the people are becoming increasingly impatient, and this could result in unwanted outcomes.
The CNG has observed that inflation has created horrible and traumatic economic consequences. While we appreciate the federal government's intention to pay a decent living wage to Nigerian workers, hike in fuel prices will not only overburden the Nigerian workers, but it will also economically pauperize Nigerians. We urge the government to explore human and innovative alternatives such as reducing wasteful expenditure and high cost of governance, tackling corruption, and increasing taxes or luxury goods to fund the minimum wage.
Meanwhile, Chairman Senate Committee on Privatization and former Governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, is advocating for part-time legislature as part of at both federal and state levels. Senator Kalu says this would help the nation cut costs and enhance citizens' trust in the polity. He is of the opinion that it is a very good idea if his colleagues and other members of the Houses of Assembly will agree to sit for 3 months and do constitutional amendments first, and sit when there's an emergency or come to do a presidential bid and go back instead of sitting full-time. Senator Kalu says it would be part of the austerity measures to reduce the cost of governance, arguing that regional governments is another viable alternative, which means that the ministers will operate the same way. In other news, drug consignments hidden in ladies' wares and other prohibited substances were again seized in Lagos at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim has details of this and other weekly operations of the NDLEA.
It was a busy week for anti-narcotic men at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. First, a businessman was on Thursday, 18th July, arrested at his Lagos residence after a consignment of 40 parcels of loud hidden in packs of chessboards, Scrabbles, checkers, and poker sets brought in from Canada was intercepted at the Sako import shed of the Lagos airport during a joint examination of the cargo with men of the Customs Service. In the same vein, NDLEA operatives at the Sako exports shed of the airport on Friday, 19th July, intercepted 2 jumbo bags going to Pakistan. The bags contained food items which were used to conceal 4 parcels of cocaine and 14 parcels of loud. Further investigation led to the arrest of a businesswoman in connection with the seizure. Also at the Lagos airport, NDLEA operative on Thursday, 18th July, intercepted a male Beninese passenger traveling with a bag containing some female native dresses. The suspect was going to Dubai via Accra, Ghana. Thorough search of the bag revealed 8 parcels of loud concealed in the lady's native wares. Meanwhile, a 48-year-old person with disability, male, was arrested by NDLEA operatives in his house at Yawuri town, Kebbi State, with 6 bags of cannabis on Tuesday, 16th July. In Abuja, 2 suspects were arrested by NDLEA operatives on Monday, 15th July, with 30 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance along Kwali-Gwagwalada Abuja Expressway on their way from Lagos to Nasarawa State. They claim to be supplying illegal miners operating in the area. Equally, in Plateau State, a raid on the storehouse of a notorious drug dealer who is currently at large at Rukuba Road, Jos, led to the recovery of 34 bags of cannabis while his manager was arrested. Operations that led to different discoveries were carried out in Osun, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano and Ondo states. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break. More reports when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. 58 more Nigerian women and children have been rescued from human traffickers, bringing the total number of rescued Nigerians in Accra in the last 3 months to 105. Chairman NIDO Board of Trustees in Ghana, Callistus Eluziwa, disclosed this to the chairman, Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiriarowa, during a stopover visit on the traffic victims at their location in Accra. The Commission's head of media and public relations, Abdulrahman Balogun, in a statement, gave the breakdown of those rescued as 47 from Kano, 5 from Katsina, 2 from Jigawa, and 4 from Kaduna, adding that 11 more girls earlier rescued and in the care of the NIDO Bots chairman and the acting Nigeria High Commissioner in Ghana, Ambassador Ifedayo Adeoye, have also been repatriated back to Nigeria. The statement added that some of the suspected agents have been apprehended and handed over to security agencies and NAPTIP for necessary profiling and prosecution. The rescued women and children are on their way back to Nigeria, where they will be properly profiled and counseled by NAPTIP, reunited with their families and rehabilitated by their various state governments. Now, the saying that the bigger you are, the more problems seems to be playing out in Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, where a rise in building collapses is turning the dreams of many families into nightmares. These tragic incidents have claimed many lives and left others devastated. In this special report, Sukiria Clinton reveals how these events expose serious flaws in Nigeria's construction practices and urban planning.
The aftermath of a building collapse in Kubwa, a suburb of Abuja, paints a grim picture of debris and chaos. This tragic event comes less than 24 hours after a school building in Plateau State collapsed, killing 22 pupils and leaving 132 others injured. Some weeks ago, another building crumbled at Unity House in Area 11 Garki, Abuja. On June 18, a newly constructed shopping complex in Gwarimpa, Abuja, collapsed just days before its grand opening, killing 5 and injuring 8. Earlier on the 3rd of July, tragedy struck in Ebutemeta, Lagos, where 10 lives were lost and 15 people were injured. Another incident was recorded in Port Harcourt's Mile 1 area on June 30, 2024. These incidents are far from isolated. In the last 2 decades, Nigeria has seen a disturbing rise in building collapses, leading to the loss of lives, livelihoods, and homes. In terms of frequency and severity of these incidents, Nigeria ranks highest in Africa. Between 1974 and 2019, more than 221 buildings collapsed across Nigeria, with Lagos alone experiencing 167 reported cases from 2000 to 2021. In 2024, 22 cases of building collapse have been recorded from January to July 13. A staggering 78.4% of these collapses involved residential buildings, 12.8% were commercial, and 8.8% were institutional. This spate of collapses has displaced over 6,000 households and costs an estimated $3.2 trillion in property damage. These alarming trends highlight the urgent need for action. So, what are the root causes of these frequent building collapses?
Constant flooding in areas led to weakness of the structure of the buildings. Our people like to cut costs. They want to cut ends so that they cut the cost of the building construction.
Penchant of developers or clients to maximize their money or to make profits. Of course, you cannot also rule out the issue of corruption and greed from it. Distressed buildings are buildings that maybe as a result of that they have stayed over the years without any maintenance structurally.
Many incidents involve developers bypassing professional procedures, using unqualified builders and employing substandard materials. To stem this tide, experts emphasize the need for strict enforcement of building regulations and increase public awareness about building safety.
Any of these building collapse we have, the deaths, unfortunate situation that we find ourselves, nobody is prosecuted because the law is silent in that area. Nobody pay compensation. Nobody is being charged for jail time. Nobody, nothing. And so this is one area, critical area that we must, as a nation, rise up. Any structure that is under construction, looking at its capacity, its scope and what have you, we should demand for insurance.
You must make sure, we must make sure that all the stakeholders concerned did their own bit and make sure that they develop sound structures in order to prevent the loss of lives in the case of building collapse.
So this is a call on the federal government to invest in these laboratories, equip them with state-of-the-art facilities, and perhaps go into partnership with at least 6 different universities from the 6 geopolitical zones, so that they will also develop state-of-the-art geotechnical laboratories, so that when we begin to do enforcement, there will be facilities for people to go and do their tests.
The collapse of St. Academy School building in Jos is a stark reminder that the safety of buildings is not just a matter of policy, but a matter of life and death. It is a call for all stakeholders, government, developers, builders and the public to work together to ensure that our buildings are safe and secure. In Abuja, Eucharia Clinton, NTA News.
You've been watching the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a quick look at our major stories. Federal government targets job creation and mega fund generation through mechanized agriculture. Northern Reform Organization clamours for economic and social rebirth, stresses implications of unstable region. And NDLEA operatives seize drug consignments hidden in ladies' wares and other prohibited substances. The Kogi State government is urging Nigerians to subscribe to the Not in My State movement against violent protests. A statement by the Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, says the state is in solidarity with efforts at the centre and subnational levels to put the economy of the nation on the right track. Femi Fanwo affirmed that President Tinubu is working assiduously to get the nation's economy working again. He stressed that apart from the fiscal and monetary policies that are already yielding positive results, the federal government has injected economic stimulating incentives to address the challenges being faced in the short, medium and long term. Agriculture, industrialization, infrastructure, education and healthcare are receiving due attention from the federal government. Also reaffirming efforts of the Kogi State government, Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo is ensuring of massive investments in agriculture, education, healthcare and infrastructure, as well as supporting homes across the state with palliatives to cushion the effects of the economic hardship. That concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.